Well, welcome back. I am here with Todd Kozelichki. Todd is a participant in this whole amazing 50-mile march. And
First year.
First year, okay.
First year, yeah.
Wow. Well, let's talk about that for a second.
So basically what happened was it was through a friend of a friend. So a gal by the name of Jody Foster did it last year. She's participated as a volunteer, and then she participated as a volunteer 2 years ago, and then a marcher last year.
Okay.
We have a mutual friend. And so it was that mutual friend named Tammy Griffiths who came to me sometime last year and had just said, hey, what are your thoughts on this? And Tammy and I have a background. We've been friends for years. We've done a lot of races together.
Okay.
And then, so I just thought, when I first got into this, I was really thinking of it as just like a physical challenge. I'm like, because I knew nothing about the 50-mile march. And so I'm like, yeah, sure. Let's do that. Not really knowing what I was getting into.
Yeah.
But now as time has gone on and you learn more about the organization, it's when it comes to the choices I've made, when it comes to trying to be involved in organizations, this is one of the best ones I've ever made.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
So she approached you and said,
Yep.
hey, what do you think about this? And did you so again, you said yes just because, this sounds like a physically challenging.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few things that sold me. One is she said it supports veterans. Well, my dad was a veteran. He was a Korean War veteran. His brother was a veteran. Their dad was a veteran. So I've always supported veterans, but nothing to this extent. You know what I mean? I mean, I've always supported them, but then to be involved in an organization that supports them, I've never been involved in that. Yeah. And so, when Tammy had told me that, and there's these two components to it. There's a physical side, but also the side of supporting veterans. I was sold. I mean, I didn't have to be really told anything else. I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
So you're a police officer, or you were a police officer?
Yeah. So I retired from the Omaha Police Department after 25 years in October. I did law enforcement for about 29 years.
Okay. And does that play into this, or?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. I was talking to my wife this morning about some of this because I had worked some cases in the past. I spent a good majority of my career in the Criminal Investigation Bureau, and a lot of that was either in the homicide unit or the gang unit. And so the thing is, especially in the homicide unit, we had worked some death investigation cases that related to stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I have thought about that in the past, and I think about it a lot more than I ever thought, because a lot of those cases run into each other when you do it so many years.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I look back on it now, and some of it has to do with it, but I think it's now what's really got me going is the building of the friendships and the camaraderie. It's just unbelievable. I never imagined it being like it is now. I mean, these are friendships that I think are going to last for a long time, and the connections that you're making with these people, and we all have this common goal is to help the veterans.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to a couple of the meetings with the participants getting together, and you truly, you have to be physically fit.
Yeah.
So as you are looking at that journey, and first of all, you look like you're physically fit, that you were already physically fit, but what has this made you do different, or how are you preparing for this?
So, it's a lot different than running, I can tell you.
Yes.
I mean, and again, when I say running, for me, it's jogging. I mean, I was never a true runner. The races that we went to was never for competition. We just had fun.
Right.
But we did a lot of different races, half marathons. I actually did one marathon. Tammy's done several. We did a lot of obstacle course races and stuff like that. I received an injury fairly significant back in 2016 where I was out of it for a while. So I had to get back into it again after about 5 years of that, being out of it. And so we started getting back into racing again. And the interesting thing is we had this conversation last week, and it's like, we don't miss the running anymore. So how I've prepared is I've obviously tapped into, Jay Morales, trying to learn, and then also other walkers, and just asking them, what have you done to prepare, And so I put in about, I just passed 600 miles this year when it comes to walking. And so, but it's just so much different. I mean, the wear and tear on your body is a lot different than I thought. It gave me a new respect for walking.
Right.
There was no doubt about that. And rucking, I guess, is what it is.
Yeah, I've actually done a lot of research on rucking.
Yeah.
All right, we have less than a minute left. I want to talk about the mental. I don't know if you can, if you haven't done it, how you prepare mentally.
And I haven't done it. I think the only way I can equate it when it comes to the mental, I think I hope I'm okay. I don't want to get too overconfident and say, oh, no problem, I'll be fine and stuff like that. But you know, in the jobs that we were in before,
Sure.
especially being in the homicide unit,
Yeah.
you put in long hours. I mean, when you worked cases like that, you were at work for 24 to 30 hours at a time,
Right.
and awake all the time, and sometimes you're
Yeah.
up 40 hours at a time. You know, so I think mentally, and of course that's a lot different situation than here, but I'm hoping that I can mentally get
Sure,
through it. And,
sure.
and I think obviously with the people around you, you have 150 people or 160 people
Yeah.
participating in this. You're all feeling the same way at
Yep.
that point.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm going to look, I want to talk to you after this is over, after you've done this. I would love to have a conversation with you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
So Todd, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for sharing, and it's nice to meet you. And,
yeah, nice to meet you too.
I'm excited to hear how everything goes. I know it'll be great.
Thanks so much.
Yep, you're welcome. And folks, don't go away. We will be right back.